If your agency isn't trying to actually sell voice AI in 2026, I think you're going to miss one of the biggest opportunities that there is right now to make money. I've been around for about 16 years. We've helped over 3,000 agencies, and we see that every 5 or so years there is huge opportunities, waves that have not yet broken, that you can really ramp up your stuff. So I shot this video specifically this week with my group, going over how I would start a voice AI agency in 2026 if I had absolutely nothing but the information inside my head. So if you think that might be valuable, let's hop in and get shit done. I'll see you in there. All right, so we're going to do a little training today on how I would start a voice AI agency in 2026 if I had to start over from scratch. Okay, so we're going to walk through this a little bit, then we'll get into Q&A at the end of it as always. All right, so starting off with this, I think the biggest thing here to understand is why would I choose a voice AI agency? Why would I be committed to that in the first place, right? And it really does come down to understanding what I think is one of the biggest opportunities that we see. The ability to be outcome focused, the ability to be simplistic and actually have a product people want. You know, I've been running an agency for over 15 years now, and we've been running GHL SaaS for a long time as well, the whole time they've been around. So whatever that is, 6, 7, 8 years at this point too. The problem with it is always that it gets to the client's point and it's always too complex. It's too much for them to understand. They can't touch it when it comes to GHL. And when it always came to ads and everything, it was getting them to the outcome. It was when the buck got passed to them. What does that mean? It means when I generate you a lead from Facebook ads that I'm running, or from SEO that calls in, or from GMB, or from any of these places, the thing that happens is I tell you, you got to call the leads. You have to go do the thing, right? And the sales fall apart and it's still your fault, right? And so the opportunity here for a lot of these things is already established companies having a 24/7 receptionist, right? Think of it being like a home service company or a mortgage broker or a real estate agent or a dentist, all of these places that don't have staff that sit there and work 24/7 for their company. They have a lot of holes. They're not able to answer the phone all the time, right? So a roofing company that might be a more local type of a business, or a contracting company that might be a more local type of business, when they miss a call, that person is not waiting around. They got to get their shit fixed. What are they doing? They're calling the next thing on that list. They're going down the list on Google, they're going down the representatives, and they're going to the next one. And most of the time, they lose these clients. It's because there's nobody to call them. There's nobody to go. And even if you're generating leads, even if you're hiring a marketing agency to do that, right, you end up missing it. But what if you could solve bigger problems for these companies? And what if you had something that could basically sell itself, support itself, and be able to be leveraged that way? That's the opportunity that I see here. And this is going to be one of those things. It's not going to be like if a business has this or doesn't have this. In the next 12 months or the next, let's say 24 months, they're all going to need to have this or fall behind. It'll be the same thing as having a website. It'll be the same thing as having a social media presence. If they don't have it, they're going to be behind all of their competitors. And right now, we're in a beautiful spot where we actually have the opportunity to give them something they know they're going to need, but they just don't have yet. In 12 months time, or anything else that you've got going on at that point, what ends up happening is you will end up in a fight saying your shit is better than their shit. Yours is better than what they've already got. You were burned by somebody here, let me fix it. The same conversations you're probably having right now for people doing Facebook ads, for people doing builds, for people doing GHL, right? You're in a red ocean competing with people and actually having to prove yourself as better than them, as opposed to just having something that they can use right away. And so understanding the opportunity, and drop a 1 in the chat if you guys understand the opportunity, if you get the fact that this is going to be something that you can really take advantage of right now. But understanding that opportunity, how would I start it? Well, the first thing I would do, if I could go back, when I first started my agency, I was all over the place. I said yes to everything. I was a yes man to every single thing they wanted to do. I would get rid of all of that. First thing we need to do is commit to a niche. And the reason we commit to a niche is because if we understand their problems and how they talk and how to verbalize in their language, their pain points, their their problems, their outcomes that they want, we can truly sell a lot easier. We can create content, we can create scripts, we can create assets that all work that way. And we can create a truly productized offer. One campaign, one thing, one agent that works for one is likely to solve that same problem for the next because they're the same industry, they have the same problems, et cetera, et cetera. So how do I commit to a niche, right? How do I find what niche to work? Well, there's 4 different ways, things that I like to take into account. 1, can I get this group of people good results? Do I understand their pain point? So one of the key ways to find my niche is, do I have a history in this niche? Do I have a network in this industry? Do I have low-hanging fruit I can tap into? And do I have knowledge about what's keeping them up at night? So can I leverage that to get them good, repeatable results? Can I plug this system in that I'm building into multiple people inside this niche and actually get them results pretty consistent? 2, can they afford to pay me a high ticket retainer, right? Because again, at one point, yes, we're going to want to sell SaaS, but we also want to have an upsell to earn bigger money. So if we get to the point where we want to charge them $1,000 or more a month, can they afford that with the return that we're getting them? Are they making at least a couple of those sales or a few of those sales with decent margins every month so that we don't become the first expense they want to cut out? We don't become a desperation move for them where they have to make a return right away. It's part of their business and we're able to create that ROI. Can I find them in abundance online? Meaning, if I'm going to go do organic marketing, can I search them up on the internet? Do they hang out on Facebook? Do they hang out in Facebook groups? Do I enjoy working with these people? If I were to start this again, number 4 to me would be weighted exactly the same as the other 3 combined. And I think a lot of people overlook that, because if I wake up tomorrow, right, and even if I'm the best real estate marketer in the world, if I wake up tomorrow and I've got a whole calendar filled with realtors, clients, sales calls, pissed off people trying to cancel, and all I think to myself is, this sucks and I can't wait for 5 o'clock to roll around for me to not have to talk to these assholes anymore, do you guys think that I'm going to scale? Do you guys think that I'm going to have the motivation, the ambition, the drive to actually go find more of these people to talk to? No, because I don't want to talk to them in the first place. So one thing that I want you guys to do is commit to a niche. If you have one, put it in there right now. If you don't, then let's think through this. Use the 4 things I just put in the chat. And I'm also going to put a list of, here's some common niches. These are some common niches that tend to fit yeses to all 4 of those things. And I want you guys to pick one and commit to one. If you don't have one yet, you need to. So pick one and commit to one. These are common niches. We got some that are others, but a little more difficult than other niches that people use, right? So like, take this and actually commit to one. Okay, put it in the chat as you come up with it and commit to the niche that you're going to be picking and using. And again, what do we want to do once we have a niche? Okay, so let's say we're going to commit to roofers as our niche. Okay, so let me just go through a couple of examples. Let's go through roofers and let's go real estate agents. Okay, why we're committing to these niches is because we want to actually understand them. So what is a roofer's customer language? What are they going to say for what they want? They want clients. They want commercial roofs, right? They want residential roofs. Maybe they want multifamily roofs, right? They will have specific job types and specific things that they want to actually go after, right? Okay, so that's good. So now we say, okay, well, what's their pain points? What would they describe their biggest pain points as being? Right? And so you get stuff like on the job a lot and miss a lot of calls, don't have 24/7 coverage, so miss a lot of calls. Because they miss those calls, they lose business to competitors, right? Competitors don't have salespeople, don't want salespeople, but definitely need salespeople. There's always an interesting dichotomy with people, right? They don't have any systems in place for nurturing leads or past clients, etc. Right? All of which leads to not having enough jobs, not having enough money, losing business that they don't want to lose. And guys, put your niches in the chat. Wake up a little bit, put your niches in the chat. If you don't have a niche, you're not going to be able to move forward with this, right? This is step 1. Put the niche in the chat. So then we go down to an example for real estate agent. Well, what's a real estate agent's customer language, right? Well, it's going to be sellers, right? Listings, buyers, but buyers who are ready to look at homes, right? Stuff like that. So then you get, okay, well, what's their biggest pain points? Because not every single niche is going to have the same pain points, right? So a real estate agent's biggest pain points generally is they can generate a lot of cheap leads, but the majority aren't ready or qualified. So there's a lot of ROI hidden in there, but they're not yet ready for all that stuff, right? So okay. So if we think about this, right, now we understand these pain points, we can now move down through the next part. So I've got my niche. I've got their understanding of who they are. If you have your niche right now, guys, and you can't give me what they want the most described in their language and their biggest pain points described in their language, go take them to dinner. Give them something for free. Talk to somebody you know. Find a couple of them and speak to them because you need to have this information. You need to know what is the biggest problem, what moves the needle the most for these people, right? Because that's how you're going to actually be able to convert them. Then we move down here and we say, okay, so now I'm going to create a foot in the door offer that solves their biggest problems, right? And so we've got this doc here. I talk about the AI agency offer system. And in a nutshell, it's a foot in the door offer, right? That because people aren't likely to pay you a shit ton of money, they don't know who you are. They don't have the know, like, and trust yet. They don't have all of that stuff going on. So we need to have something that solves a big, painful problem, fast, cheap, and with pretty much zero risk so the actual client feels stupid saying no, right? It needs to be something that it's almost a can't say no offer, right? That's what I want to have here. And so, okay, well, let's go with roofers, right? They have big, painful problems. So again, we'll use examples and we'll say roofers, right? And we're going to say, okay, so let's say you don't have 24/7 coverage. What's a foot in the door offer? Well, I've got all these inbound calls coming in and I've got all this traffic coming and I'm losing all this business to competitors. So I say, okay, cool. How about I give you an AI receptionist for End Web Widget, 30 days free. And if we get you 10 to 30K or 3 to 5 jobs in that time, from it, we start our normal pricing offer, right? And our normal pricing offer can be, 1,000 to 1,500 setup plus 500 to 997 a month, somewhere around that, right? For inbound, outbound, and what we'll do for the product down below. So you can see, like, I'm basically saying, I'm gonna give you $30,000, up to $30,000 for free. And I'm gonna solve your biggest problem while doing it. And if it works, your biggest problem that you're telling me you have is out the door. Anybody here think that they wouldn't buy that? Anybody here think they'd say no to $30,000 for free? So we get the point here, right? I want to have this, and I want to have this because I want to be able to, part of what I did for my niche was say I'm able to find them in abundance. Okay, cool. So if I can find them in abundance and I have an offer like this that solves a problem, and it's a can't say no stupid offer that solves their biggest problem, right? And I can go out and I can send 10, 20, 30 of these, 40 of these, 50 of these a day. You're going to close a lot of them, right? We have one guy, I think I got his screenshot on here. I haven't followed up with him. I want to go check, but he sent 50 messages, closed 10% of them at $500 a month already. And he was expecting another 5 to 10 of them to close, right? Because he's able to solve a big problem for these guys, able to push that through, right? And so you're able to put that in there. Now for a real estate agent, right? What would you do? Real estate agent foot in the door offer, right? So for him, the biggest problem is I have all these damn leads, right? So you have two options. One, you do a qualification outbound SDR agent, right? So again, for free for 30 days. This is if they have inbound leads being generated. Inbound leads, right? So if they have inbound leads, because we're saying their biggest problem is I can generate all these damn leads. I got all these leads coming in, but so many of them are shit, right? And you say, if we qualify and book at least 5 for you, we start our regular offer, right? Or you could do a DBR, one-time outbound DBR call campaign to their old leads. To their old leads they thought were shit, right? And again, what am I doing? I'm trying to take their biggest pain points up here, right? And convert them into something that we can solve, and we're going to solve for basically free for the first month, get them a result, and then they're going to want to pay us. Because this is the shit you need to know. You need to know who you're talking to, what their problems are, and then solve them. If you can do that, right, and get better and better and better at it, you're going to have a business. So, okay, I've got step two done. Now, how do I have a simple, scalable, outcome-focused product? So this is what we're talking about here. What am I talking? How I'd start a voice AI agency in 2026 if I had to start over. I now have all the information. Now what I want is a simple product that I can slap my own brand on and make to actually focus down on these outcomes. Now, all of these here where I'm talking about the voice AI, it's come down to 4 different things, right? So if we're using, and the platform that we use is Thinker, right? Why? Because it's so easy to set up, right? And I'm going to show you that in a second, but that's what I want. And the 4 most common agents that I'm seeing on here for voice AI that solves the biggest problems the most effectively for every company we run across is an inbound AI receptionist that I can call. It's a voice AI web widget. And if you don't know what a web widget is, right, it looks just like this. We slap one on here. This is an overlay. I click it, it talks to me, it answers all my questions. I can even have a link on it where I click and I go directly to the payment page. That's an overlay one, right? Then if I want to look at another one, right, you can see an embed one right here. I click it, it talks to me, it answers all my questions, and there you go. And it's so easy to now convert website traffic into actual conversations and book calls and do that. It's so easy to convert inbound traffic, right, that you're missing, or your roofing client's missing, or your family law firm is missing. And you can see a bunch of these case studies on the Thinker website that you guys get to use, right? How to convert them into actual clients, how to never lose them again by having that. And then it's an outbound appointment setter that you can set so that anytime you have an inbound call that comes in, it acts just like a sales team. It calls that lead. It knows why they booked it or why they opted in, and you call that lead to be able to book them in. And then anytime you do get an appointment, or you do get a sales call booked, you're able to have an appointment reminder agent that's plugged directly into that calendar and calls them to confirm, reschedule, or cancel those appointments and be able to get that done. The wide array of problems you can solve. I mean, look at all the different ones I listed out here, right? Every one of those problems gets solved by having this plugged in to that company, right? And so you use a product like Thinker because I can go over and I can say, okay, I got my roofing company here. So we say roofing company, Thousand Oaks, and I just grab this thing here from where our office is, right? I grab the thing and I can go back to Thinker, and instead of having to think, like have an overly complex system where it's like, okay, well, I got to do this prompt, I got to figure that thing out, I got to plug this thing in. No. How about instead, I want to create something for my client, or even just a demo for my client. I can just put their website in, and I can go here and say, roofing. I can select a voice, the one that I like the most, and literally hit go. Okay, this is what I want. When I want to start an agency like this, I want to have a simple thing that's powerful and actually attached to outcomes. That's what I want. So I know the problem I want to solve. I'm missing a lot of calls. And so I want to be able to answer those calls with something that knows everything there is to know about their business, right? That's the thing I want to solve. And that's done now, right? I literally just built that. And that's the kind of thing that I want you guys to understand, right? When you're looking at this, you need a system that you can use, that you can build without having to take some degree or become some engineer or all this other shit. Something that you can literally click on and use, and you've already got it here. It's like, cool, this is built. You can talk to it.
Hello, thank you for calling Conejo Valley Roofing. How can we assist you with your roofing or painting needs today?
Yeah, I was actually calling around to a few different roofing companies. I think I'm going to need a new one soon. You're actually the only one that picked up. So can you tell me a little bit about what you guys do?
Of course. At Conejo Valley Roofing, we specialize in a variety of roofing services, including residential and commercial roof repairs, replacements, and new construction. We also offer roof maintenance programs to help extend the life of your roof, as well as interior and exterior painting services. We work with a range of materials like shingles, tiles, and flat roofs, using trusted brands like Owens Corning, GF, and CertainTeed. Plus, we provide free inspections and estimates, and all our new roofs come with a 10-year workmanship warranty for your peace of mind. Is there something specific you'd like to know more about, or would you like to schedule a free inspection?
I think the only thing left to me is the warranty. Can you tell me a little bit about the warranties you guys offer?
Absolutely. All of our new roofs come with a 10-year workmanship warranty, which means we stand behind the quality of our work for a full decade. This warranty covers any issues related to the installation itself, giving you peace of mind that your roof is built to last. Additionally, the materials we use, like Owens Corning, GAF, and CertainTeed, often come with their own manufacturing.
You can build these things for your people. You see how much knowledge that has from our system that does the search, does the build, not just web scraping, but actually going out and grabbing all this stuff inside of Thinker. And if I want to change it, I don't have to be a prompt specialist, right? I've got the AI Copilot that they've got in the system here. We can click.
Hey there. What do you want to change or improve about your agent today?
Yeah, you noted a 10-year warranty. We actually have a 15-year warranty. And I want to make sure we highlight that because it's a real standout compared to our other competitors and stuff. So just change that up, please.
Oh, for sure. So you want to update the warranty to 15 years and really make it pop since it's a big deal compared to your competitors. Anything else you want to tweak while we're at it?
Nope, that's everything for now.
Awesome. Give me a couple of seconds to get this started.
Perfect. And all it does is it comes down here, it changes what you want it to change out, right? From here to here, you can approve it, dismiss it, whatever. So the changes you make for your clients, or even for them to do it themselves if they want, is very, 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 very easy to do, right? You're able to create that. And so the other part of this is the outbound, right? I want an outbound appointment setter. We have a whole library inside of Thinker, right? A whole library here for outcomes specifically. So I want to schedule an appointment. Right, I've got standard scheduler. If I want to just book it and I don't care what it is, I can add a qualification one if I wanted to have basic qualification questions, right? And then the appointment reminder bot, right, that we talked about as well right here. So they're already pre-built, pre-prompted, pre-coded things that are very, very easy, but still powerful and outcome focused, right? It's very easy to do this here, and it's very simple to set up. And so if I was starting one right now, right, in 2026, what I want is to pick one product that I can turn into my own product that's very simple to use, very powerful and outcome focused, that I can attach to an offer that makes sense, right? And having that would allow me to get off the ground quickly. Because for me, what do I want in a business, right? A voice AI agency. I want to not worry about tech problems. I want to not worry about support problems. I just want to get out there and sell. I want to talk to as many people in my industry, in my niche as I possibly can. I want to know the biggest 2 or 3 problems they have, keep my ear to the ground always, and I want to constantly be solving because I want to fucking help people, right? I believe in the rising tide lifts all boats. I say it all the time. And I can help people a lot better if I understand who they are, and I have a system that I can use easily without having to get a new degree every few weeks to try to figure that out. And so if you've got that scalable, simple, outcome-focused product, and you can white label it, right? You can actually completely white label this system right here for the branding, the domain and email, the branding, all of this stuff across the way so that you can actually fully white label this system to make that happen. Now you've got a product that is yours. A product, by the way, that has had, millions and millions of dollars into development of it that you can now put your brand on, go sell to your people and make work. The next thing I need, right, is a simple, powerful way to attract new customers. So I want to walk you guys through what I just did. Think about what I just did, okay? Now I'm actually going to go, let me pull up, I think, here. So I'm going to walk you through just a quick process, okay? So this is our process for setting personalized demos, right? So think about what we just did when I showed you guys how easy it is to build. So Google your niche in your area. You saw me do that already for roofing company. Select a website. Again, you saw me grab this roofer's website. Right? Find the contact information. So we go to Perplexity or something like that, and we say, find me, and I've actually got searches right here. Find me the contact information for the decision makers at this company, right? Give me LinkedIn, phone numbers, email. So we've got emails, we've got LinkedIn profiles, etc. Very easy to do, right? Build the demo exactly like I just did. How long did that take, guys? Like 5 seconds, correct? To be able to build that demo, put it out there, and make that happen. Okay, so we can put that in. That takes 5 minutes at most it took, right? To scan it, build it, and for me to talk. So I can do one of these demos every 5 minutes, correct? I think that's fair, right? Now, a lot of you guys we're saying something in the home services niche, okay? So I'm going to show you guys something. This has demo emails, email templates, and everything else. So if I get you guys, if I get enough, what do we got in here? 19 people today. If I get 5 of you guys to drop your takeaways in this group by the time this call ends today. Okay, so again, by the time the call ends, so we're going to do Q&A and stuff too, but if I get 5 of you to drop your takeaways, and it can't be one sentence, like drop a couple sentences of your takeaways in here, I will give you guys this SOP that comes linked with demo scripts and demo email templates so that you can do this exact demo process, okay? Now, what this is at its core is finding clients, creating a demo exactly like I just showed you, doing a Loom using this script basically says, hey, I put together a quick 60-second thing. It knows everything about your company, and then tying it into the offer that we're talking about over here, right? I want to say a lot of the roofing companies that I talk to, including yours, when I call them, nobody picks up the phone. We just had a roofing client clear $160,000 in 18 or 19 new jobs in the last 60 days just by plugging something like this in, and I want to give it to you for free. I promise you it's going to get you at least $10,000 to $30,000 in the next 30 days. If it's something you might like, let me know. Here, take a listen, right? Send out 10, 15, 20 of those a day, take a couple hours of work, and all of a sudden you could end up with thousands and thousands of dollars in revenue. Is that something you guys want? You guys want that document? Drop a 1 in the chat if you want the document, and if you think that that would be a helpful way or a good way for you to be able to go out and make some money, guys. Right, good. So go drop your takeaways. Again, one more time. I'm going to put this link. That's our free group. Get in there. Drop your takeaways. I need at least 5 by the time this ends, and I'll give you guys that document and the rest of these documents as well, okay? So now we've got a simple, powerful way to attract new clients, right? So we've got clients, perfect, good. Now an upsell process, right? We want to make more money. I said that at the beginning too, right? And so if I go back to the AI agency system here, and I scroll down, I want to point you guys at something that I like a lot, okay? And that's my problem solution loop, okay? What is the foot in the door process at its core? Right? It's a way for me to initiate conversations and create potential sales, even if they don't know, like, or trust me yet, right? It's a value ladder. I want to get in. I want to get my foot in the door, and I want to attach that to an outcome so I get paid so that I'm solving problems. But once I have that know, like, and trust, the most powerful word in your vocabulary can come into play, which is I need to make a recommendation. So in this situation, you look at the roofer example, for example, okay? So now with my inbound, outbound, I've solved that any inbound calls and that kind of stuff, you're going to now monetize, right? You have inbound opportunities. You're going to answer the phone. You're not going to be losing clients anymore that way. If a new lead ops in and you do it that way, you're not going to lose any more that way. So you have trust now that the bucket is solid, right? That the leads in the bucket are going to get in there. It's not going to leak through anymore. You're going to be able to have that stuff, be able to make that work. Okay. So perfect stuff on that. And so if all of that's true, then the next problem will appear. Okay. The next problem usually being, hey, you still want more money, right? You still want to actually get more jobs, correct? Cool. So now that you know, like, and trust me, and you know, like, and trust the situation, that you know that we have created enough stuff here to make sure we're monetizing all your opportunities, I have a recommendation. And that recommendation is, let's do an ad account. Let's do an ad campaign. Like, let's drive this up. And now you can charge, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month and have that be the next stage. So you've got a way to upsell because you've got the know, like, and trust. You've earned their trust for it. Now, the last part here that is a fairly new thing within the last few weeks that we've launched inside of the Thinker platform that I think truly brings it all together, truly makes this the best business model you can actually sell right now. Because before now, you used to have to outsource a lot of your support. Before now, you used to have to go and do all of this other stuff. But what you can do now is inside of Thinker, what they've launched recently is this right here called a customer service agent. So I want you guys to listen to this that I'm about to do, okay? Let me go over to, we'll go back. Susan, here we go, right here.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for calling AI for Agency Support. How can I help you today?
Hey, yeah, I'm actually trying to figure out how to put a web widget on. I heard about it, but I can't find it.
I see. Okay, you want to add the web widget. You'll need to go to the Web Agent tab in your agent settings to set this up. Are you able to see the Web Agent tab when you're editing your agent, or do you need help finding it?
One sec. I've edited the agents. Okay, yeah, I do see Web Agent tab. I've clicked it now.
Great, Mark. Now in the Web Agent tab, you can customize the widget's appearance, size, and placement. Do you want to change how it looks, or are you ready to set which websites it should appear on?
Hold on. Let me change how it looks a little bit. Colors. Okay.
Sure.
Hold on. Okay. Yep. I've changed the color and I think I've got the rest of it on here. Okay. Yep. What's next?
Nice, Mark. Next, scroll down to the section where you enter the website domains. Go ahead and type in the domain or domains where you want the widget to show up. Let me know when you've added those.
Okay. They're added.
Awesome, Mark. Now just save your changes and the system will generate a code snippet for you. You'll need to copy that code and paste it into your website's code where you want the widget to appear. Do you need help finding or adding the code snippet?
I see the code, but I also see something it's saying overlay or embed. Can you tell me the difference between those two things? I don't know what to select.
Sure thing, Mark. Overlay means the widget floats on top of your website content, so it stays visible as users scroll. Embedded means the widget is placed directly into your page layout, like part of the page itself. Do you want the widget to always be visible, or do you prefer it to sit in a fixed spot on your site?
No, I want it to be always visible. I think that makes more sense.
Great choice, Mark. For always visible, select Overlay. This will keep the widget floating on top of your site as people scroll. Once you've set that, just add the code to your website and you're all set. Anything else you want to tweak or any other questions?
I've got the code. Where do I put it on the website for this one?
Okay, no worries, Mark. You'll want to paste that code snippet into your website's HTML right before the closing body tag. If you're using a website builder, look for a section where you can add custom code or scripts. Do you know how to access your site's code, or do you need a bit more guidance on that part?
No, I've got it and I've pasted it. I'm all good now. Thank you. That worked. So how cool was that, guys? First of all, any thoughts on that? Anybody realize what just happened? First, I'll ask, did anybody hear the word thinker in there? Yes or no? Anybody hear the word thinker in that sentence? No. Right. So that just walked me through step by step, just like a customer success agent would, right? How to do a thing. And it answered all of my questions correctly, mind you, and everything else, right? So now I have an automated AI support. When we installed this, by the way, guys, on the Thinker site, right here, it cut our agent support time by 50%, almost overnight, once we finally got people to start using it. So cool. And you guys now have access to build one of those for yourselves too. So my voice AI agency in 2026 now, if I started over, I would already have a product that basically creates itself that's so simple to use, a process for being able to send out personalized bespoke demos to people every single day that closes all kinds of deals because they need it. I'd be able to use that to take advantage of what I think is the biggest opportunity we've had in a long time. I'd have a support agent pre-built to handle all of the questions that any of my clients could have about how to use it, what to do, et cetera, that's fully white labeled. I could white label it all to be my own software, and I could get out there and just spend every single day selling. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. We can jump into some Q&A now and go into some questions. Anybody have questions about that?
When you're setting up those demos, I'm assuming these are people that you're reaching out to kind of cold.
Yeah, the demos usually. I mean, it works for your network too, though. It doesn't have to be cold, right? So
right.
Low-hanging fruit, I would always attack them first, and it's going to be an even easier, faster kind of response at that rate. But yeah, typically what we're saying is for cold. Yeah.
Okay. So like I know that like the Facebook method of reaching out through free, like people that are doing advertising, sending them DM, stuff like that. So like if you got a response there, you could send one to that person for a demo or something. Like basically anybody that you get an email or a like you don't have to wait for them to request info to send this to them.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're just like, if anything, I like to use it. One of my favorite ways to use stuff like this is as a reference point. It's almost like I assume you're not even gonna fucking see it, but now I can use it as a reference for a warm call instead of a cold call. So I can call up your roofing company tomorrow, and the lady that answers, like, instead of saying, "Hey, my name is Seth and I work at this place and I want to sell you this shit," and they just hang up on you, I can say, "Hey, I actually sent you guys something for free the other day. Did you guys get it?" Right? And now you've broken the ice and it starts a whole other conversation. If they say no, you're like, "Cool. Can you check it out? I promise you it's going to be worth your while. I'll give you a call back again tomorrow." Right? And it's just super easy, super fluid human conversation you're having at that point, right? So I love using it that way and finding different ways to approach it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Of course. Latoya,
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Do
go
you
ahead.
do you send it like in a Loom video recording?
I use Loom or Zoom. The only thing is with Loom, you have to set it to record current tab. So it only records the Thinker tab. You can't switch back and forth from the website. So sometimes it is better to use like a Zoom or something so you can switch back and forth and show it off that way.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Kelly, is it about this or something else?
Just on the support agent, is it able to be placed on, if we white labeled our Thinker platform, is it able to be placed on that as a support?
Yeah, it can be made as a web widget or an AI or a receptionist. So it can be anywhere you want for the number or for the web widget too.
Okay, yeah, I just didn't know if it could be on my white label. So,
And I'll
okay,
show
thank
you
you.
guys the little hack that I did to make it white label because that wasn't even in a white labeled account. You'll notice it was
Yep.
just a hack. It never mentioned Thinker, right? So I'll show you guys that next week.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Francis?
Yeah, I just tried the overlay widget, but it seemed to just put it somewhere on the page.
The overlay widget? I
Is
don't
there a way for it to be floating, and when you scroll, you always have the overlay,
Yeah, so that's that.
just like those
that
chat
is the overlay.
widgets?
So if you go to here, web widget, right? And you go to web widget experience, you got to select overlay, this one, and then you pick which side.
Yes.
Be like center, right, or left.
Yeah, I've put it on the right.
Yeah. So if you did that and you just put the code anywhere, it doesn't matter where it is, it'll look like this.
While he's doing that, Cody, my question was on the support widget. Is it a thing where we would always put a support widget in the client's website, or is it a double widget, or do we just update the one we've already given them?
See,
Not following the.
now it's
Sorry, one second.
here.
Well, if it's
the corner.
because you put the code in that calendar code, Francis.
Oh, okay, so I need to put
Now
it.
it's hovering all over the calendar. It looks like you put it in that block. So you got to put it as its own
Yeah.
custom HTML block code instead of inside the other one. Do you understand what I mean?
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the sections that.
Yeah, because this is built in GHL. Right?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So it
in
looks
your
like.
GHL builder, add a new element that's a new block of code and put the code for it in that instead of inside the calendar code. So Chris, just to answer your question, while this is loading, it's a different web widget. It's not the same as a different one, but it's only for support though. So like the other ones you have on there are really for like, answering customer questions and whatever else. This is more like specific to support questions and specific to like walking them through how it works and that kind of shit like that. So like if you've got a web widget on their site that already knows about their business and is all that kind of stuff, you wouldn't need this, right? But specifically for like a Thinker or for like your own system, this does what I did. It has a whole knowledge base and everything behind it and then the walkthrough and everything like that. So
So this is not something that you give your client.
it would be a separate product that you would sell your client, honestly, is what it would be.
But does it go so the client would see two web widgets on their website or no?
If you did a second one, yes. I'm not sure how to else to answer that, right? But it's a separate web widget. So if you wanted both on it, it would be two different web widgets.
Then if people go to that client's website, why would they
Think
click
of
on
it. Think of it like ours, right? What on our homepage we have a web widget,
Right.
and there's a support tab that's our support agent,
Ah,
right?
okay.
Yeah, and I think that's easier to.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you so much for spending the time to watch that amazing training. Like I mentioned previously, my intention is for you not just to watch that training, but if you got something out of it, if you think this information is useful, I want you to continue that journey with us. And you can do that in a couple of ways. One, I want you to smash that subscribe button so that you get notified every single time we put another one of these out, which will be at minimum once to twice per week. The other thing I want you to do is go ahead and click that next video right there beside you so that you can dive in and get shit done. Hope to see you out there.